Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Keisha. On this channel, it's all about fashion, beauty, lifestyle, nursing, and anything that I choose to put out there. So here's what, like I said, 2023, I'm coming with a bang. So guess what? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go right ahead and subscribe to my channel so that whenever I upload a video, you'll be first to be notified, because I said this year, listen. I am not playing. I'm here to give you the deets, because guess what? Your girl have been living in England for the past 4 years going, and I decided that I'm going to be transparent and I'm going to tell you like it is. Because, you know, a lot of people constantly reach out to me. They want to ask, they ask me questions. They want to ask, they just want information. So guess what? I'm going to put it out there. So here, like I said, don't forget to smash that subscription button so that whenever I upload a video, you will be first to be notified. So here's what. In today's video, in today's video, I am going to talk about nurses who want to come to the UK, letting them know what to expect. So 10 things that I am going to share with you as a nurse living in the UK and a Caribbean nurse, to be exact. And I'm going to tell you 10 things that you should know. And listen, I'm not playing with this information. So take it like how I give it, or if you want to ignore it, it's all up to you, because when you get here, this information, you will benefit from it. So I'm just giving you a heads up. So if you don't want it, what can I say? So if you want to know more about this video, guess what? Press that subscription button, like I said. So just let me jump right into it. Okay guys, so I have my little notebook and I decided that I want to keep on track. I don't want to, get sidetracked or anything. So I have my little notebook. I make some jottings. Because I don't want to drag this video out. So like I said, this video, I'm just going to give 10 things that you should know as a nurse who want to come here in the UK to do nursing. So before anything else, guess what? The first thing you should know is that when you want to come to the UK, there is an exam that you need to do first and foremost. It's called the CBT, or the computer-based test. So that's the first thing that you need to do. So you have to go right ahead. You find wherever this exam is taking place, and you register to I think it's, at the time when I did mine, it was through person view, and I had to travel to Barbados to do my exam. All right, because where I was living at the time, they only had one center and it was like so booked up, and then your girl wants to get out the place, so I had to travel, I had to spend monies, and I had to go there. So yes, that's the CBT, the computer-based test. So that's the first thing that you need to do. Also, the second thing that you need to do is to register with your with the NMC. So there's a lot of processes that you need to go through to register with the NMC, because obviously in every country that you want to go to do nursing, you must register with the nursing body there. So in England, it's the NMC. All right, the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Yes. All right. Another thing that you need to do, listen, they say when you want to achieve something is a lot of hoops and bumps and roads and hills and valleys. But guess what? Once you keep focused, you will make it. Just like how I made it, you will make it. So in position number 3, another thing you have to keep in mind, that once you would have passed your CBT, once you would have registered with the NMC, then you have to do another exam when you get here, which is called Husky. All right, it's an assessment that you do in England when you get here. It's a test. So basically, you having all your experience back home as a nurse, coming to the UK to do nursing, you have to show them that you're capable, that you're confident, that you're knowledgeable their way. It's not that you don't know anything, but guess what? You have to, that's their criteria. Let's put it like that. That's their criteria. So you can't skip it. You have to pass it. And I think you have like 3 chances. So you have the initial chance where the first sitting, and then you have 2 resits there after that. And listen, I've known of persons who would have actually failed their 3 chances, and they had to go back to their country, and then they have to wait for some time before they can be able to do this exam again. All right, so guess what, guys? If you're liking this video so far, don't forget to press that subscription button, so whenever I upload my video, you will be first to be notified. And here's what, let me just look at my book because I don't want to forget anything. Right, so think about it, guys. So those are the first 3 basic steps or 3 basic things that you need to understand up front. So without passing that exam, you cannot be a registered nurse here in the UK. All right, so once you would have passed, you'll be thinking, what's next? So once you would have passed that Husky exam, big things are going on for you, big things going on, because guess, now is a time where you will be able to go to your ward areas. Like for me, I'm in a hospital, not a care home. Listen, I'm not against the persons who are working in the care home. If you love working in the care home, kudos to you. So wherever you have to work, whether it's a care home, private hospital, or the National Health Service, which is the NHS, it's the same standard right through. So you pass your Husky, now you go on to the ward. Another thing, so when you're in the process of doing your Husky, they class you as a candidate nurse. All right, so they class you as a candidate nurse. So that's one of the things you need to understand. So you'll be like on a band 3, almost like a nursing assistant. So they give you chores like a nursing assistant. So you can't do medication, you can't do any of the nursing things that you would normally do when you're at home. So once you are preparing yourself to do this Husky, they class you as a candidate nurse. All right, so yeah, so that's number 5. And here's what, congratulations, you have now passed your Husky, so you now have more freedom. Yeah, but guess what, there's another loop that you have to go through. So now you become a supernumerary nurse. So once you have your PIN, you got your PIN from the NMC, now you become a supernumerary nurse. All right, so here you on the ward, and now you're gonna start to do things that nurses will do, but to a lower degree. And why I say lower degree, because here's another point I'm getting to, because you have to do mandatory trainings. So listen, if you're accustomed putting in an NG, if you're accustomed putting in a male or female catheter, well, the female catheter is it's like self-explanatory, because with the female catheter, normally you don't have much, you do hands-on experience. But with a male catheter, you have to literally go and learn. You do the mandatory training for that. So here in the UK, another thing to know, that whatever skills that you have to do, you must do mandatory trainings, God. You must do mandatory training, because if you don't do mandatory training and something goes wrong, you will be in trouble. Your PIN will be at risk. So one of the things to pay attention to is that you must do your mandatory training. All right, so in order for you to progress, to be more independent, once you get these boxes checked, then you're good to go. I think I'm on number 5. So once you become a registered nurse, have your PIN and everything, then one thing to note is that you are responsible to pay your yearly retention fee. All right, you're responsible for that. Sometimes if you working with the, let's say, whatever, wherever would have employed you, most times they pay for your first year, and thereafter you are responsible to pay your fees. All right. Number 6, what you have to also do is something that we call revalidation. After 3 years, you need to revalidate. You need to show nursing council that yes, you have been doing extra what you call it, listen, it's so many things in my brain, bear with me. So yes, revalidation after 3 years. So this is where you do extra trainings. So they call it CPD hours, where whether you go back to do some studies or even these mandatory training. So you have to explain about all this on your revalidation. All right. So don't think you're gonna come here for 3 years and you just sit down doing nothing. No. It's always good to do some continuing education, and that way you get hours so that you can show nursing council that you give them the 30. You have to have, I think it's 30 hours over the 3 years. All right. So 30 hours over the 3 years, you have to show nursing council that you've been doing extra studies. All right. So it's important during that time when you have to do your revalidation. Okay. Also, listen, we all know that sometimes we grapple with long hours of work. So another thing to remember or keep in mind is the 12-hour shift. So here in the UK, most places, whether it's a nursing home, private home, NHS, they do 12-hour shift, whether it's from 7 to 7:30 or 8 to 8:30, whatever. And also they have there's a shift that they have, which is twilight. That's just a shorter shift. However, but your main hours of work is 12 hours. Listen, it could be very tiring, but guess what? You have to develop a strategy, a smart way in order to conquer this, all right? Because sometimes, I am telling you from my experience, guys, listen, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, just go right ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I am gonna get real as I can get, realistic, honest, and brutal. Because it's time guess what? It's time someone speak up and let others know the real thing. A lot of times, I've seen too much sugarcoat. I mean, there are things that you will not say out there out loud, but too much sugarcoat. All right. So I'm just gonna get real as I can. All right. So another thing is that you have to work on a visa. So in our case, like most foreign workers, when you come to the nursing, you are working on a skill tier 2 visa. And this visa have restrictions. All right. So when you work on a tier 2 visa, you have a specific amount of overtime hours that you can do weekly. And if my memory serves me right, I think it's about 20 hours that 20 or 22 hours. I think it's 20 hours that you can do. But to be on the safe side, you do 1.5 shift to be on the safe side, or even 1. And guys, the higher you go, all right, the higher you work, the more hours you work, listen, the taxman will come for you. They will come. They will cut. You will, listen, working lots of shifts. A lot of people work a lot of shifts, and guess what? You want to know where the money is went. Taxman. So you have to be also smart about how many overtime that you're working every single month. All right. So guys, if I'm doing well, guess what? Go and smash that subscription, but remember to subscribe to my channel so that whenever I upload a video, you will be first to be notified. All right. And another point is you need to stick to your dress code. So Usually they are very, very strict when it comes to your dress code, because there are standards in terms of especially if you're working on the ward, especially in the NHS, yes, or even in the private hospital. Apart from sometimes even the agency nurses, there are standard dress codes that you have to follow. You know, sometimes back in the Caribbean, sometimes the nurses wear nails and all of that. But here in the UK, yes, I still see people wear the acrylic, they paint the nails, but most of the times it's nude, neutral, that is very discreet. But all the press-on and all the long nails, it's prohibited. All right, you have to follow the dress code. All right, so keep that in mind when you want to come to the UK to work as a nurse. The things that you would have learned or do at home, which is not of practice or which is not of standard, you cannot come here and do that. All right, so you have to change some things. All right, so yeah, that's some of the things that, like, I probably give you about 10 things that you need to know when you're migrating here to the UK to be a nurse or to do nursing. There's another one that also to bear in mind here. I can only speak based on my experience. The ratio of patients that you get, most times you get 6 patients, depending, because sometimes, or a bay, some bays have a little more, but you have a ratio of 6 patients to 1 nurse. All right, and listen, if it's not within your competence or scope, you have an English tongue. Say, I cannot. You can't do things, because listen, if you jeopardize, you do anything wrong, you are the one will be held responsible. All right, and the last point I'm going to get to is that when you're finished and you have your when you have gained your confidence and a lot of experience, sometimes after working 1 year, you know the ins and outs on the ward, you will find yourself at times you might have to manage the ward area, even if you haven't, let's say, get a promotion or like a band 6 or whatever the case might be. Yes, because most of the times a lot of us come over, even if, you know, a lot of us come over to England, we have our vast knowledge of experience. I mean, bring it with you, take it with you, use it. Yeah, so sometimes you get the opportunity to manage your ward area just because you've been there for a while. Sometimes you just happen to get thrown in that spot, right? Sometimes it could be a bit daunting, but guess what? If the experience arises, I mean, you probably would say, oh, I can't do it. But guess what? Sometimes we have to be resilient. And like I said in the video, if you're not competent, or if you think you're not strong enough to do something, you have the right to say, no, you can't do it. All right? Do not jeopardize your license for anybody, anyone. All right, because in the end, if you jeopardize your license and you get it taken away or struck off from the NMC, then it's on you. All right, so guys, those are the 10 things that I want to leave with you, especially if you want to come to the UK as a nurse. Those 10 things will literally help you to understand what you should, or things that you should expect before and while here as a nurse. So guys, if you like my video, feel free to smash that subscription button, so whenever I upload a video, you will be first to be notified. So with that being said, bye, peace out, see you in my next video.